Good evening and welcome to the Dr. Alan W. Sugarman Athletics Complex at Fort Lee Middle School in Fort Lee, New Jersey for tonight's Bergen County Senior All-Star Soccer Game. Tonight we honor all the players that were honored with all-county distinction this season, and for some, playing their last match of soccer and last match representing their schools. We wish them nothing but the best on behalf of the Bergen County Soccer Coaches Association. We'd like to thank our two referees doing the honors tonight, Mr. Jordan Ziegler and Mr. John Evans. And special thanks to Ramapo head coach Evan Baumgarten for donating the jerseys that you will see being worn by the All-Stars tonight. Team Blue and Team White. Team White will be the home team on the scoreboard. Now let's meet our 2025 Senior All-Stars. Starting with Team Blue. A goalie from Northern Valley Regional Old Tapan, number 1, AJ Aiello. Goalie from Park Ridge High School, number 22, Jake McConville. From Dwight Englewood High School, number 2, Jack Meserole. From Bergenfield High School, number 3, Matthew O'Brien. Of Tenafly High School, number 4, Ethan Schwartz. Of Tenafly, number 5, Ori Olsner. Of Tenafly, number 6, Maxim Romanoff. Of Tenafly, number 7, Davin Shin. Of Cliffside Park, number 8, Matthias Avila. Of Northern Valley Old Tapan, number 9, Aiden Mulligan. From Ramsey, number 10, Sebastian Alcama. Of Ramsey, number 11, Adrian Stanchescu. Of Ramsey, number 12, Owen Morris. From Ridgewood, number 13, Nick Luddy. From Grenlock, number 14, Drew Carlin. From Glenrock, number 15, Jacob Grinberg. From Park Ridge, number 16, Chris Guerrero. From Park Ridge, number 17, John Gurrieri. From Lyndhurst, number 18, Ariel Treyes Calle. From Lyndhurst, number 19, Robert Dassler. From Bergen Catholic, number 20, Saif Khan. From Northern Highlands, number 21, Joe Andicochia. The head coach of the Blue All-Stars representing Lyndhurst High School, Ahmad Abu Hakme. The Blue All-Stars of Bergen County. And now the All-Stars from the white team. Goalie from Ramapo High School, number 1, Julian Lara. Of Mawa High School, not present, Nick Fuchs. From Don Bosco, number 3, Brian Novak. From Leonia, number 4, David Alexic. From Fort Lee, number 5, Michael Conte. From Fort Lee, number 6, Gordon Chang. Of Ramapo, number 7, Julian Kutita. From Fort Lee, number 8, Grant Kang. Of Ramapo, number 9, Caden O'Connell. From Fort Lee, number 10, Lucien Yu. From Ramapo, number 11, James Fitzmaurice. Of Mawa, number 12, Nick Avella. From Waldwick, number 13, Eric Mezzini. From Waldwick, number 14, Isaac Vargas. Of Waldwick, number 15, Ethan Bresdan. Of Dumont, number 16, Maximus Drishti. From Elmwood Park, number 17, Riza Radoncic. From Rutherford, number 18, Ryan Witt. Of Ramapo, number 19, Jordan Hunt. From Emerson, number 20, Angel Ponce Montes. From Pascack Valley, number 21, Adrian Cano. From Westwood High School, number 22, Nico Dole. And unable to be here from Northern Valley Demarest, Adrian Cami. The head coach of the white team, representing Mahwah High School, Tommy Schultz. The White Team All-Stars, and your 2025 Bergen County Senior Boys Soccer All-Stars. Fans, at this time, we ask you to please rise, remove your hats, as we honor America and those who serve and protect our freedoms with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the Fort Lee YouTube Athletics channel. It's time for the 2025 Bergen County Boys Soccer Senior All-Star Game. Team White and Team Blue. All players that are chosen for this game were named All-County by the Bergen County Soccer Coaches Association. Hi everybody and welcome. Ralph Bednarchik on hand. Happy to have you with me on this Thanksgiving Eve game. Temperatures at a solid 54 degrees, so very little wind either, so we should have quality conditions for many players that will go on to play in college, and certainly high-level players, high-level teams that are represented, including a pair of section champions, Waldwick out of North 1 Group 1, and then Ramapo, who won the program's remarkable 8th state championship. Ramapo also represented here. Ramapo with 5 All-Stars. Fort Lee, the home team for Team White, also with 5. Waldwick with 3. Ramsey with 3 to lead the blue team, and 4 from Tenafly, who had such a tremendous and breakthrough season for Tenafly, also having a lot with 4 of them. Our 2 coaches, Ahmad Abu Hakme, having 2 of his great players, including the program's all-time leading scorer, and Robert Dassler represented. Abu Hakme is the head coach of Lindenhurst, the Patriot Division Coach of the Year, and Tommy Schultz of Mahwah. Teams would be represented by blue and white, and both teams with very aggressive formations to open this one up. Both will be playing 3-5-2 alignments. For the blue team, to my right, A.J. Aiello, third-team All-Bergen, 6'2" goalie from Northern Valley Old Tapan. 3 years on the varsity and a 2-year starter there for head coach Mark Torrey, and making the start for Team White to my left, Julian Laura of state champion Ramapo, first team All-Bergen. He split the job this year with another good goalie in Dylan Kleinschmidt the last 2 years. And Ramapo, with the final NJ.com voting and rankings coming out, finished 5th in the state as a team. Jordan Ziegler and Mr. John Evans are our referees tonight. We'll play 80 minutes with no overtime. And for some of these young players, a final game of soccer in their careers. For some, just another day to play against quality competition before they embark on their winter club seasons and prepare for the recruiting process. There is one player already committed from our 2 teams here, but many more will certainly have a chance to make that decision. Team White will toss in. And for the White All-Stars, looking for service into the box. And here is the handle for A.J. Aiello. So in front of Aiello in the 3-5-2, Tenafly's Ethan Schwartz is the left back. The right back, Park Ridge's John Guerreri. The center back is Tenafly's Maxim Romanov. The Tenafly players all played a 3-5-2 alignment this year, so for Schwartz and Romanov, this should be very comfortable. Schwartz, the left back. For Guerrieri, and it'll be dealt back for Schwartz, who will play it off of feet. In front of him, the 2 holding mids, Davin Shin, also of Tenafly, and Ariel Treyes-Kaye of Lyndhurst. Center attacking mid, Aiden Mulligan of Northern Valley Oltapan. Wide right, Matthew O'Brien of Bergenfield. Wide left, Joe Andicochia of Northern Highlands. And the 2 forwards, the state's leading scorer, Robert Dassler. Ball delivered through. Here's a chance, and the stop is made by Aiello. Aiello forced to make one save, then a second chance spun in his direction by Caden O'Connell, and he makes the save. O'Connell, first team All-Bergen, 19 goals, 12 assists for the Group 3 state champion Ramapo Raiders. So Aiello up to it and making 2 early saves. Now a through ball that will be handled here by Julian Laura of Ramapo. Two starters, Robert Dassler and Ori Elsner for Team Blue. Aiello to distribute. And that ball will be calmly watched out of play. Then for Team White, in front of Julian Laura, the 3-5-2 alignment has some Fort Lee starters. The outside backs, left back Gordon Chang, right back Michael Conti. Fort Lee Bridgemen, this is their home field. As is Grant Kang, the holding mid of Fort Lee, as he distributes beautifully out wide. As Julian Kutita. As Kutita spins it in, and that's another shot, and already that's 3 for Team White. The centermost center back is Max Drishti of Dumont. He was a late addition to the White roster, and he is thrust into an important spot immediately. Julian Kutita of Ramapo, wide left. The right mid, Nico Dole of Westwood. Westwood's first Bergen County Senior All-Star Game participant in nearly 30 years. He lines up wide right. Center attacking mid, Lucian Yu of Fort Lee. And the 2 holding mids, Grant Kang of Fort Lee and James Fitzmaurice of Ramapo. And up top, the 2 forwards, Caden O'Connell of Ramapo and Jordan Hunt of Ramapo. So it's a heavy Fort Lee Ramapo initial first lineup for head coach Tommy Schultz of Mahwah. As this ball is picked up and sent here for Ethan Schwartz. And some space to attack for Ori Olsner. And then Olsner lost a touch. Olsner, first team All-Bergen, finishing his career with 40 goals, 20 assists. What a year it was for the Tenaflyers that are on the field. Tenafly won their first 14 games of the year. They finished 17-2 and one of the best seasons in program history. They lost 2-0 as a 3-seed at 2-seeded Randolph in a North 1 Group 3 semifinal and reached the semifinal in the Bergen County Championship, losing to Ramapo. Ball sent wide for Team White as a service sent across by Nico Dole, and then a follow-up blast is put in. After it was blocked, it's Lucien Yu that scores on his home field. 1-0 White. A goal in the 5th minute by Yu. After Dole had a penetrating ball across, knocked down by the defender, and Lucien Yu let it rip. Yu was the leading scorer for the Fort Lee Bridgemen this year with 15 goals, 4 assists. And a 3-year starter in the program. He spent his freshman year at Don Bosco, where he was a starting center back then. And helping take his Fort Lee program back to the playoffs. They finished 13-4 this year and lost this year as the 8th seed at 1-seeded Ramapo in a section quarterfinal. So as Andacocha looked to penetrate and drive, and Dole loses the touch. The two teams don't have a chance to practice. The season just concluded on Saturday. So if anything, it's the Ramapo players that are going to be in tremendous form. Schwartz with the defender Nico Dole bearing in on him. And it's going to be a toss coming in for Team Blue. So for the Ramapo players, they're still in form. There are some players here that are playing after not playing for almost a full month. Here is a shot and a volley by Grant Kang that is blocked wide. And of course, the Fort Lee players would be feeling very comfortable. And most players, just talking to some of them, had a chance, of course, to get back in the field and get some touches in practice to get themselves back into it as a toss that we grabbed by A.J. Aiello, who quickly looks to distribute for his high school teammate Aiden Mulligan. And out wide to the right far side for Matt O'Brien. And O'Brien's ball delivered for Ori Olsner, and that was just inches off. And the first dangerous moment for Blue. And some players, if they lost in their state tournament first round, they would have been done around November 4th, November 5th. So that can be a big gap from the end of the season. And these All-Star players have known for a couple of weeks, so they've gotten back in the swing of things. Lucien Yu, and Yu is able to step around Team Blue's Maxim Romanoff on the step. And then Yu, they're rather outside for Julian Kutita, and Kutita's strike is well over the bar. Five shots already for the White All-Stars. A.J. Aiello played for World Class, their regional team, and a 3-sport varsity athlete with basketball and baseball early in his high school career, and has played travel baseball too. Caden O'Connell. As O'Connell hoping it falls from O'Connell, taking the chance. And the third save already to be made by A.J. Aiello. Caden O'Connell, first team All-Bergen. He scored 2 goals in the first 7 minutes on Saturday in Ramapo's state Group 3 championship game against Middletown South. And the game was virtually over in a 5-1 victory for Ramapo. So he and the rest of the Ramapo Raiders coming in with tremendous form. O'Connell last year had 9-4. But for Coach Evan Baumgarten, they are able to reload on an annual basis. Laura looking for Conte. It's picked off of him. Here's Ori Olsner of Tenafly. Olsner chance that's knocked down by Conte. Olsner again penetrated to the end line, then sways it across. He was hoping for a runner on the backside. He might have had Davin Shin,
his teammate of Tenafly there. They will call a touch, so it will be the game's first corner, and it's for the Blue All-Stars. And a toss coming for Team Blue. And here is Ariel Treyes-Cayenne. 18 in blue. Mulligan. Look for Allstar. And Grant Kang of Fort Lee, the cleanup. A goal in the 5th minute for the White All-Stars and Lucien Yu. Now Caden O'Connell. And O'Connell goes shoulder to shoulder on the challenge by Tenafly's Ethan Schwartz. Schwartz, second team All-Bergen. First All-County honors for him. It was Tenafly's first undefeated regular season in 30 years. Their only 2 losses came in the Bergen County tournament and in their section semifinal for head coach Michael Carrasquilla. It was out for a corner, the first for the White All-Stars. And that's wide of James Fitzmaurice on the target. And sent in by his Ramapo teammate in Julian Kutita. Kutita was tied for the 3rd leading scorer this year, Ramapo, with 12 and 6. He also scored a goal in the Group 3 state final on Saturday against Middletown South. Conte with the step. And Conte will commit the foul. A lot of club teammates here from various organizations that know one another, exchanging pleasantries, coming over. Many, of course, from the same leagues, from the Big North, that have battled one another in some cases twice a year for 4 years. Fitzmaurice. And to the feet of you. And a good job of breaking that up by Davin Shin. First team All-Bergen, tremendous midfielder and engine of the Tenafly machine this season that scored 68 goals. Davin Shin this year, 3 goals and 9 assists. And among the many that play for the Future Soccer Academy that's well represented today on both rosters. Ball ahead, Schwartz can't get to it. Out comes Aiello, and it's going to be a tap-in for Team White. Ball skipped through, and Jordan Hunt of Ramapo is the beneficiary after the long goal kick. 2-0 Team White. Goal in the 12th minute. Jordan Hunt, also first team All-County. And he was Ramapo's 3rd leading scorer with 11 goals and 8 assists. And this was his breakout year after having 4 and 6 last year. And once he was able to separate with some explosive steps and no real chance for the defender to get there, Aiello had to come out to at least make it tough and cut down the angle. That was his only opportunity. And the White All-Stars, a pair of goals in 12 minutes. Lucien Yu around Shin. And Yu trying to take the next chance. Romanoff blocking. And then the follow-up. White All-Stars up to 7 shots. And none as of yet for Team Blue. Aiello was looking for Mulligan. In the air, Romanoff. And blue, they search for Dassler. 88 career goals to become Lyndhurst's all-time leading scorer. He was the leading active scorer among seniors in the state, was Robert Dassler Jr. of Lyndhurst. His father, also a Lyndhurst High School graduate and an assistant coach on Ahmad Abu Hakme's staff. Dad is also here as an assistant for the Blue All-Stars. Hunt, service across as it skips past Ethan Schwartz, who lets that go. And there were some footsteps behind him from Team White and Nico Dole. So can the Blue All-Stars find Dassler, high school career of 88 goals, 38 assists. And he has Division III, high-quality Division III programs like Montclair State interested, Caldwell, and the Division II CACC early in the recruiting process. And a breakup for Team White and Fitzmaurice. Fitzmaurice gets the return, takes the chance, takes it well, and Aiello makes the save. Tremendous there, the fourth save for A.J. Aiello in under 15 minutes. James Fitzmaurice already made some history. He is the lone two-time first-team All-Bergen player in this game, starting holding mid of Ramapo. And he is a second-generation Ramapo High School soccer star, dad out of the Ramapo class of 1992. Aiello delivered in, and a head ball. It will go for Team White. 3-0 Team White. We'll get some confirmation to find out who exactly might have put that in. In the vicinity, it could have been 10 in white, Lucien Yu. But an effective and dangerous corner played in by the White All-Stars. Well, this is atypical of an All-Star game where you have such a lopsided start. Two things you could at least start to credit. 4 Fort Lee players playing on their home field. And the Ramapo players that just came off the field on Saturday night as state champs. Space for one of them, O'Connell. Ball went in the middle for Jordan Hunt. Hunt then blasts from distance. And the White All-Stars right now playing fast and loose. Davin Shin able to check back. Gurrieri and Kutita will take it away. Julian Kutita surging in front. Kutita with a layoff. It's loose, and the shot hits the crossbar. It stays out. Kutita set it up as a ping pong right to an open Team White All-Star. That was a ball for James Fitzmaurice to tap in. White on the second ball, O'Connell. With Fitzmaurice, who stays onside. Fitzmaurice returns for O'Connell, and it almost ricocheted to the backside for Kutita for a tap-in. Both coaches will sub kind of units one at a time as they have enough players to make wholesale changes 10 for 10 and perhaps keep their goalies out for each half. Each team with 2 goalies. As we get the offside on Team White and Jordan Hunt. We'll get verification on who scored the third White goal at half. That ball delivered ahead for Ori Osler. Kang. Kutina will circle on it. Kutina lays it across. It's an open shot, and it's finished. That's Nico Dole. 4-0, White All-Stars. 3 minutes later in the 18th. Dole, the beneficiary. What a ball delivered by Julian Kutita. Kutita with 12-6 this year for Ramapo. And he has played both travel baseball and for Cedar Stars Bergen on the academy level. Grant Kang were able to spring him forward. And as Kutita sent it all the way across with Aiello committing to the post, Nico Dole on the backside is able to finish. He was Westwood's leading scorer this year with 9 goals and 11 assists. Finishing his high school career with 19 goals and 17 assists. And this year, Westwood was able to be the 7 seed and win a state tournament game. They lost at 2-seeded Mawa in the North 1 Group 2 quarterfinals. And again, Nico Dole, first representative from Westwood in a Bergen All-Star game. I misspoke earlier, first in nearly 20 years for a Westwood Cardinal to appear in this game. Kutita on the assist. And Ramapo already has accounted for a goal and an assist in this opening half. That's out of the range of Robert Dassler. Kang under pressure. And he'll locate Michael Conte. Dole pursues and met on the challenge by Ethan Schwartz. And it'll be a goal kick for Aiello. A very atypical All-Star game that is so lopsided inside of 20 minutes. And both coaches here at the midway point of the first half will make substitutions next opportunity. Meanwhile, for Aiello at Oltapan, where he was third team All-Bergen this year, they lost to these 10-5 players in a North 1 Group 3 first round this year, 5-1. And with the ball out, so both coaches will make changes. And with a stoppage here, exactly midway through, what a job by the White starters. 4 Fort Lee players, 5 Ramapo players in the starting lineup for White, and what a result. The home team and then the 5 players from state champions in Bergen County. So into the game for the Blue All-Stars is Jake McConville of Park Ridge High School. Out of the small school NJIC, the North Jersey Interscholastic Conference, where McConville was thrust into being a goalie this year, was first team All-Liberty Division, made 156 saves for Coach Ryan Dennis. Before that, he was a field player. Ball ahead, this one banged off, and it goes in! A gift of a goal for the Blue All-Stars who just subbed on. And it's 4-1. So the goal in the 21st minute for Team Blue. And they get a break. Jacob Grinberg of Glenrock was their second leading scorer this year with 9 and 6. He's the beneficiary. After the White All-Stars subbed in Ilias Alkin, he is the 5th Fort Lee Bridgman player, a very late addition. So the White All-Stars would have a second goalie. And Ilias Alkin on the handle here for the second time. Upon the clearance, banged it off of his own defender. And that's where just the lack of chemistry can come into play in an All-Star game. But in position for the final tap-in was Grinberg to make it 4-1. So a defensive mistake helps out Team Blue. And pressure applied by number 20, Angel Ponce Montes. He is from Group 1 program Emerson and was 4 years on the varsity for head coach Rich Campagnoni. And their leading scorer this year with 15-5. Emerson had a brilliant season. They lost in penalties to Waldwick. They were the 1 seed. They lost to the 2-seeded Waldwick in the North 1 Group 1 final. And Emerson almost lived the dream, as we have a foul called, and the Blue All-Stars can get some numbers in the box here. Off of a failed clearance, here's a chance, and it's blocked. For Team Blue, Owen Morich was in position. If he used his left foot, he potentially could be celebrating a goal right now. So in a wild swing of events, as Grinberg will toss in. Then attempting a little side volley, that's Nick Luddy of Ridgewood that takes the shot. Technically just the second shot for the Blue All-Stars. As McConville chips in the air, David Alexic of Leonia, third team All-County honors this year, and the second leading scorer with 4 and 5. There's Saif Khan out of Bergen Catholic. The target, Drew Carlin, also of Glen Rock. And down the middle, Nick Luddy, dispossessed. And with no whistle, ball delivered in for the White All-Stars. Adrian Cano, and Adrian Cano dispossessed. He recovers briefly just as McConville came out to challenge. White maintains possession with Ryan Witt of Rutherford. Riza Radoncic of Elmwood Park as a ball is pinballed through, and it will go out for a goal kick. So the White All-Stars remaining dangerous. We've played 24 minutes. It's 4-1 White. Nick Luddy, and becoming a Bergen All-Star this year. He's the lone commitment in this game. He'll play at TCNJ. And he missed all of last year with a back injury. Carlin will settle. Luddy able to face up and look. Luddy then takes the chance. He hits the crossbar with the shot. And Ridgewood was thrilled that Nick Luddy got healthy. And what could have been Ridgewood last year when 18-5, with Luddy not being in the lineup. Last year they lost in a Group 4 semifinal, a state semifinal. Luddy has played for Cedar Stars MLS Next U19. And played very sparingly as a sophomore. Nothing as a junior. And then Luddy came back this year, finally healthy, to be first team All-Bergen and to be Ridgewood's leading scorer this year with 9 goals and an assist. Ridgewood was a loaded team last year with 4 All-Stars in this game a year ago. As the ball will track and find Chris Guerrero. Stand out from Park Ridge. A return sent in, and Ilias Alkan will grab. Quick distribution for Brian Novak of the White All-Stars, who starred at Don Bosco. And Novak, a similar story. He missed 2 years of high school, dealing with injuries primarily and playing academy at the MLS Next level for Cedar Stars Bergen. And Novak, finally healthy, became first team All-Bergen. 4 goals, 5 assists for the Don Bosco Ironmen. Alkin, as he distributes to the wide side. And the White All-Stars to possess. Both teams' second units as well, also playing true 3-5-2s. So aggressive formations to have a lot of fun, being an attacking mindset. Matias Avila with the ball win in the middle of the field. And the Blue All-Stars with Luddy. Luddy steps through. He takes another chance, and that shot is blocked off of a white body. So they're seeing a healthy Nick Luddy. And TCNJ, which has been one of the chief contenders to the mantle of Montclair State in the NJAC for a long time. And what a quality player they are getting. Novak with the ball win. And the White All-Stars will play through Elias Alkan. Novak, as Novak pursues, he has some Division I's interested, like St. John's of the Big East. It still could be so early in the recruiting process for many of these players. And that's their next order of business, just as soon as they get past Thanksgiving tomorrow. David Alexic will deal it back for Alkan. And this high press of the Blue All-Stars have gotten them at least more level in the game after the white starting lineup just dominated and were buzzing all around the field. Here's Isaac Vargas of Waldwick. Vargas then tried to lay it through. White is hoping for a touch. And they'll say there was a touch, and it'll be a corner for the White All-Stars. And they'll play it short with Radoncic. And now taking the angled shots and pulling it wide is Ethan Bresdan of Waldwick. A year ago, Waldwick were New Jersey Group 1 state champions. Bresdan with Isaac Vargas, Eric Mazzini. They were led by Julian Ruhlman, who played in this game last year. Ruhlman was a 40-goal scorer a year ago. And he played this year at Division III Power Williams. And what another great year it was for Group 1 Power Waldwick. Saif Khan searches for a switch, and he left that ball a little short. Vargas on the step. And in some case, you could see how these players have to adjust to the speed of the game now, with everybody being on the field having been named All-County. So it'll feel much more like a club game. The windows are just much smaller. Defenders get on the ball quicker. Movement off the ball is much, much better. Here is Luddy. Luddy pursues, and then Luddy just dispossessed. Good little play made by Mawa's Nick Avella. And now White to transition as they look for a cross. Nick Avella was a 2-year starting center mid at Mawa. Had 3 goals, 9 assists this year. As Mawa was the 4 seed, and they lost to West Milford in the Northbourne Group 2 semifinals. West Milford won the program's first section championship. Ball comes out loose, and no one from Team Blue was defending. It's an easy one, a tap in, 5-1. Ball was laid in by Adrian Cano for the assist. So a 31st minute goal. And White was able to jump on it. Blue, I think, was expecting the toss to be theirs. Adrian Cano of Pascack Valley, third team All-County this year for a team that lost to that great West Milford squad in the quarterfinals. And Adrian Cano was the leading scorer for Pascack Valley with 18 and 5. White All-Stars have put on a show, both units now with goals. Luddy the breakup, and he makes the long connection ahead for Chris Guerrero of Park Ridge. Guerrero accelerating to the wide side, and he will get a corner off of White. Chris Guerrero, second team All-Bergen this year. 29 goals, 9 assists. He was Park Ridge's leading scorer for 3 years. Under Coach Ryan Dennis, and showing great speed and acceleration, his older sister Odalis runs track as a sprinter at Montclair State after a year at Division I Sacred Heart. And you saw Guerrero almost turn that corner. Alexic, see, look to the front. Angel Ponce Montes was in position. And Blue will come up with a clearance. Five to 1, White All-Stars here in the Bergen County Senior All-Star Game 2025. Room for Matias Avila. And a fine sliding challenge for the White All-Stars. And I think that was Eric Mazzini. And a whistle and an advantage given. And a ball delivered in that Alkin will grab. And he'll come up with his first save. White All-Stars on the attack again. Ball sent to the penalty spot. Trying to backheel that was Isaac Vargas. And the Blue All-Stars will make the delivery wide here for Jacob Grinberg. Grinberg slides ahead. Ball sent to the spot, and a great ball delivered by Grinberg with his right foot. Isaac Vargas facing up and fires. Shots are 11 to 2, White All-Stars. Some raindrops now starting to come down here. Probably would describe it as a hard drizzle here at Fort Lee Middle School, the Dr. Allen W. Sugarman Athletic Complex. Ralph Bednarczyk with you, so happy to be bringing you the 2025 Bergen County Senior All-Star Game. Every player in this game, in order to get into it, at least the initial list, had to be All-County. And the only player that wasn't, or only player, there's 2 players that were last-second replacements added to it. I believe they are not required to be All-County. That's Eric Mazzini. And back for Alkin. A switch, Grinberg. And what a nice pass that was picked out by the Blue All-Stars. Ball skipped on the turf away from Grinberg. Mentioning Waldwick's Eric Mazzini, who's the left back right now on the field, a 4-year varsity player. Great inspirational story for Eric Mazzini and for the players that are on this field and the years it takes to be in a position to get on a field like this today. As Guerrero will settle it. Nicavella defends of Mawa. But Eric Mazzini was diagnosed with a cancerous brain tumor at the age of 13. Just as his soccer career had just started, he had collapsed at home. And fortunately, they were able to do tests very early in the process. And it was still a long path for Eric Mazzini to even come back and play soccer again, but he turned into a tremendous player for Waldwick coach John Noschis. Mazzini ended up being a 4-year starter and experienced a ton of winning. Radoncic looking for a little flick onto the top of the area. Then the second opportunity is blocked off of a body, off of a blue body. And the White All-Stars showing a lot of creativity on the field. Brian Novak. And Novak will take the chance. Into the 38th minute. The White All-Stars scoring 4 goals in the first 18 minutes. Team Blue would have an answer in the 21st. Now the rain beginning to be progressively harder as Jake McConville is on it and will drill it forward. And jostling for the ball was Drew Carlin of Glen Rock. This one settled, played to the front. Carlin takes the chance, and Carlin puts it away. Well, the weather certainly played a role there with the ball skipping around. White's David Alexic had the first chance to clear. Jack Mezzarole was able to gather it, number 2 in blue, and then play it back for Drew Carlin to finish. Carlin was Glen Rock's leading scorer this year with 14 and 7 to make it a 5-2 game. Jack Mezzarole of Dwight Englewood picking up the assist. He finishes his high school career with exactly 43 goals and 43 assists at Dwight Englewood. This year, 15 goals, 16 assists. Novak plays a ball through, looking for Ponce Montes of Emerson. It's been 2 kind of defensive mistakes and failed clears that have given Blue their goals. Novak chips ahead. We're in the 40th minute. A scoring outburst in an All-Star game. A year ago, the score was not this high. I think it was a 3-2 finish. Novak with the ball win. Alexic of Leonia. As he looked to the front, plays for STA Mount Olive on the club scene. Ball delivered through. That was Jack Meserole looking for a cross. Nearly got a handball. And one more chance taken from great distance by the White All-Stars to complete the first half of play. What an explosion by the White All-Stars. They take a 5-2 lead with them into the half. We'll pause for 10 minutes and be right back. You're watching the 2025 Bergen County Senior All-Star Game on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. And welcome back on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Tonight from the Dr. Alan W. Sugarman Complex, a very short halftime because the two teams essentially bringing back their starting units in and alternating 20 minutes at a time. And for the second half, I'm sure we'll see coaches make changes based on feel and dependent on, of course, what the score is. It is 5-2, White All-Stars leading the blue. And the offside flag is up. Playing a full 80 minutes tonight. And as you just heard, the halftime that was indicated to be scheduled to 10 minutes because the rain is getting progressively harder. It ended up being just 2 minutes. And the starters that played the first 20 were well rested. And now they are all back on the field to open up this second half. Blue All-Stars have capitalized on a couple of white miscues defensively. Meanwhile, the White All-Stars, they have looked brilliant in spreading the field. Here's Grant Kang. And Kang was looking to play to feet there of Caden O'Connell of Ramapo. And a second offsides flag up. So Julian Laura back in goal for Team White. And this is AJ Aiello of Northern Valley Old Tappan. This year, Northern Valley Old Tappan finishing an even 9-2. They were the 14th seed. Last year lost in the first round in overtime to Roxbury. Ball delivered across. It's pocketed in as it skips ahead. That's Ori Olsner of the Blue All-Stars. And it's made it interesting at 5-3. So a 43rd minute goal. And Olsner, first team All-Bergen this year, was Tenafly's leading scorer with 27 goals and 8 assists. A big bump up from his junior year of 9 and 8. And playing for world class at the ECNL level, the second highest level of club. And the Tenafly story this year, so much of it built of what they did off the field. And a great story I'm happy to share. As here is Dassler, Robert Dassler trying to get wide. And then Dassler will bang it there off of Gordon Chang, the left back from Fort Lee. Basically, Tenafly, ahead of the year, designated a council of 7 veteran varsity players to have a leadership council, having the balance between having high standards in practice while also striving for improvement. And it led to immense communication and dedication. And for Tenafly to start out the season 14-0 in a brilliant year. White All-Stars with O'Connell. Now to the wide side, and a chance that's pocketed. Well, they come right back to make it 6-3.
Attention fans, while we celebrate that goal, we have the 50-50 winning ticket number at $80. Thank you very much for your support. Red ticket 930007.
O'Connell made the pass. Isaac Vargas of Waldwick picking up the goal.
If you are the winner, please come upstairs to the booth. Thank you very much.
So a 44th minute tally a minute later. And a chance from distance for the Blue All-Stars that Julian Laura will handle. The chance taken by Davin Shin of Tenafly. As it's Laura to handle. Ramapo closing the book on this year as Bergen County's undisputed best team. And they picked up the Triple Crown, winning the league, the Bergen County Championship, and a state title. And they went through the state tournament brilliantly, outscoring opponents 20-2, including Saturday's 5-1 win over Middletown South. A commanding performance. And the Raiders became the 5th ever Bergen County team to ever have that sweep of a league, county title, and state championship in the same year. They finished 21-1 and won 18 in a row to hang another banner. And Fitzmaurice was hoping for a runner, and it'll track back to Aiello. And within streaks, it became the 5th Bergen County tournament title in a row for Ramapo this year. Vargas swings for Kutita, and then Kutita just didn't have his legs under him, and to take that chance. And players ascending through the Wyckoff Torpedoes Club is one great factor, what has driven not just the Ramapo program, but mainly the Ramapo program all these years. As Coach Evan Baumgarten has proven their ability to reload and pop pieces in and have breakout players. Next year, Ramapo looking superior and loaded again. They have one of the state's top juniors in Jacob Preziosi scheduled to come back as a center mid. They might have the best center mid in New Jersey. As they're looking for another ball and a toss in for the White All-Stars. Into the 47th minute of play, each team has already tallied. Fitzmaurice. And the return for Caden O'Connell. Now connects with Vargas to the front. He had Fitzmaurice looking for the head ball, and that wasn't off by much. Well, particularly for the White All-Stars starting lineup, the creativity they have shown as a unit has been something. As here's Aiden Mulligan beautifully. And Conte of Fort Lee the step. And he wastes the ball. It remains a bit of a hard drizzle tonight at Fort Lee Middle School. Here's Matt O'Brien, the lone representative of Bergen Field. And Shin couldn't chop that down and redistributed to Fitzmaurice. So Fitzmaurice, and perhaps the very first second-generation Bergen County All-Star Game participant. O'Connell. Vargas. Vargas steps through. Vargas nets the chance. Isaac Vargas with a terrific ball into him and showing wonderful composure on the ball. He's got consecutive goals to make it 7-3 Team White. And unassisted tally in the 48th minute. And while Caden O'Connell won't get an assist, he certainly created that with his patience and allowing Vargas just to kind of occupy the space. And the White All-Stars starting unit has pumped in 7 goals in less than 30 minutes of action. As we get the offside call by Mr. John Evans. As that ball delivered to the far side where Conte defends. And it'll be a toss-in. Getting back to the James Fitzmaurice story. Both parents are Ramapo Raider graduates. Dad, David, played for the University of Virginia. And then the old North Jersey Imperials, which is now the USL, as we have a foul that'll be committed. And with a foul in the box, it'll result in a penalty for Team Blue. So the Blue All-Stars are going to summon goalie A.J. Aiello here to the spot. A.J. Aiello this year did not have a goal. And Oltapan never went to penalties this year. He against Ramapo's Julian Laura, and he calmly buries it. A.J. Aiello to make it 7-4. So in the 49th minute, action continues as the handball in the box on the cross. And the Blue All-Stars, despite the heavy possession and chances advantage for White, are at least within some striking distance at 3 goals. Vargas shut off there by Davin Shin. And the Blue All-Stars would love to get the state's leading scorer and Lyndhurst's all-time leading scorer, Robert Dassler, on the ball at least once. He's been in the vicinity on a couple of crosses, but does not yet have a shot. Conte had the breakup, and Fitzmaurice will lay it back to the defense. So Dad David Fitzmaurice, Ramapo class of 92, was twice All-Bergen, senior and junior years of 91 and 90. As Mulligan accelerates, and it'll be a goal kick. So very likely Dad, I think, would have played if there was a Bergen County Senior All-Star game. Then Dad went on to win 3 NCAA championships at Virginia. As Chang looks for an outlet, and the ball win by Jordan Hunt as the forward checks back. And the White All-Stars again able to push the pace with Caden O'Connell. O'Connell will step into the shot, and he hits just the side cross, kind of the side post area. Perhaps Aiello got a little touch to parry it off the post, but still a blistering shot taken by O'Connell. Blue with the ball win. Maxim Romanov was the centermost center back, and Matt O'Brien of Bergenfield here. And space for Treyes Calle. And Schwartz, the left back. Mulligan, nice touch to himself. And then the target man was able to hold it up briefly. Shin on the ball win, collects and takes the chance. And Davin Shin continuing to be an engine as he was during his tremendous career at Tenafly High School. Being all-county for the first time in his career this year. And that is not often that a player that is never all-county and then becomes first-team all-county as a senior. Usually there's a progression to it. And Davin Shin getting great appreciation this year as a senior. Good step by Maxim Romanov of Tenafly. And the Blue All-Stars with Shin. Wide left, Joe Andacochia, the lone Northern Highlands representative, as Andacochia runs out of room. As it's carried, left to O'Connell, and then O'Connell, he has a cutter, and a head ball was there, a delicious ball for the taking. That was Jordan Hunt. Goals have come in flurries tonight. This was a 5-2 Team White lead at halftime. A goal in the opening 3 minutes of the second half brought Team Blue closer at 5-3 before the two teams have traded goals. Then the breakup there by Treyes Calle. Ball ahead. Shin nearly gets into the path of Laura. And Julian Laura remains very well composed with a player breathing on him. As this one skips through, and O'Connell will find the wide side. Caden O'Connell, connection with Fitzmaurice. James Fitzmaurice settles, then takes the chance. Aiello the save, there's a rebound, and the rebound is pocketed. Well, just too easy, and no defenders there to really clean up. Fitzmaurice with a dangerous strike. Aiello had to make a pretty good save going laterally, and that is going to be Isaac Vargas for the second time. 8-4 White All-Stars. Or check that, beg your pardon, that's Jordan Hunt on the tally. Hunt with his second goal. So Fitzmaurice will get his assist. And the goal occurring in the 55th minute. Well, unfortunately for our goalies, when you have so many attacking players coming at you, you tend to get outnumbered in terms of who's picking up who. And no defenders for Team Blue really charging towards the end line. Here's Dassler. Dassler to the spot. Oh, what a pass and a goal! Robert Dassler of Lyndhurst connecting with Ori Olsner to make it 8-5. Olsler's second of the night to lead the Blue All-Stars. O'Connell, and he'll rip. And they'll point to a save for A.J. Aiello and a corner coming for the White All-Stars. So it'll be Gordon Chang, 4-year starting center back right here at Fort Lee, for head coach Demba Mene, who's the All-Star coordinator and chairman of this event. As Fitzmaurice will leave for Hunt. Hunt unable to step through, then Hunt blasts and looks to the upper 90. And you're seeing the level of skill on plays just like that. Between the ball control and the calmness of Jordan Hunt to still be able to explode and get a near precise shot, splitting a pair of defenders. Jordan Hunt finishing his Ramapo career with 19 goals and 15 assists. Off a short goal kick. And Matthew O'Brien of Team Blue. Trey Escalle. Look for Mulligan. And Aiden Mulligan nicely able to step through. Fouled from Maxim Romanoff. First team All-Bergen center back. He's a big reason why Tenafly was able to play a 3-5-2 the entire season as the centermost center back, someone that has to be able to play with tremendous awareness, instincts, range, passing range, because you're typically most exposed. If that's not a very good player, you really can't play a 3-5-2. O'Connell, he had choices to play in. Look for Grant Kang, who is running. Team White's first goal tonight was by Lucien Yu of Fort Lee. Ball went again by Fitzmaurice. Vargas. Isaac Vargas will leave, then gets the return. Vargas able to take up and look and rip the shot into the goal. Off the back of the defender, Ethan Schwartz, and Isaac Vargas will add to make it 9-5. So second of the night for Vargas. And this one comes in the 59th minute. Vargas was not with the initial starting group as Mahwah coach Tommy Schultz made the adjustment. We'll get second units or next units coming out on our next stoppage. O'Connell. Watched by Romanoff, and Romanoff does not buy the spin. Well defended there by Maxim Romanoff of Tenafly. Joe Anticocia. As Anticocia looked for the ball in front, and it'll be a corner for the Blue All-Stars. Joe from Soccer Power Northern Highlands. Northern Highlands girls under Coach Tara Madigan with another coach sandwich in between has been a Jersey superpower. Older sister Ava Anticocia was all Bergen last year before not playing in college. And Joe this year, 7 goals, 3 assists, was Northern Highlands' second leading scorer. He is off, as well as everybody that was on the field. And a corner coming for the Blue All-Stars in the 60th minute. They look for Grinberg on the backside, who scored the opening goal for Blue. And that ball grabbed by the White All-Stars' new goalie and Ilias Alkin here from Fort Lee. And then this chance by Ethan Bresden of Waldwick is pulled wide of Blue keeper Jake McConville. Nine to 5 White All-Stars. Still only in the 62nd minute. And under rainy conditions, too. And I would think if there was history kept of this event, based on memory, especially from some of the coaches that have been here a long time, like Waldwick's John Nochese, 9 to 5 could be the highest scoring game that's ever existed. Here's Ryan Witt, lone representative of Rutherford. And Witt was second team All-Bergen, as that ball again by Ethan Bresdan. Looking for a runner on the back post. Ryan playing for Coach John Randazzo at Rutherford. And had a good senior year with 7 goals and 5 assists to be their second leading scorer. And losing a first-round state tournament game at 7-seeded Hackettstown this year. And swooping in on the ball win is Nick Avella of Mahwah. Avella steers for Bresdan. They dummy it across. Here's an open goal, and it's banged in. Nice dummy through after Avella carried and led the way. It is 10 to 5. That's Angel Ponce Montes of Emerson. What a nice carry there by Nick Avella. And then Ethan Bresdan, he had a runner down the middle. Kind of come up with a combination dummy play. And here's Brian Novak. Avella. And on the return, the offside flag is up. It's remained a steady, kind of hard drizzle. And I think the players, based on the score now, have decided they're just going to pile up and take some shots. And I think the defenders have long decided, let's not be too physical on the challenge. Well, talking, many of these players are still not going to be done with soccer yet. And we'll go into the winter club seasons and see what the recruiting process and what options and offers might come their way. And many of them just about have started the application process of paperwork together, but it still can take some time, and their season's just had ended. Here's Ethan Bresdan, ball through, a nice sliding breakup. And beautiful breakup by Team Blue's Sebastian Alcama of Ramsey. Played for the State Line Soccer Club and was second team All-Bergen this year. as Alcama in the deep corner. Redistributes through Jake McConville. Remember, McConville was a field player before he was thrust into Group 1 program Park Ridge, needing a goalie. And those specialty positions in all sports at the small school level are the hardest to fill. Sometimes you'll go through a cycle where you just won't have a kicker, lacrosse goalie, soccer goalie, baseball catcher is very typical at that, sometimes even football quarterback, where coaches at the varsity level are certainly keeping an eye on what their depth chart looks like years down the road, even a decade down the road, to see who they have and how many they have training at certain positions. But sometimes at the smallest school level, things occur and you're left without a position like goalie. So you have to convert someone, and perhaps even for just a year. Ball out wide, and that's out of the range of Drew Carlin, and offsides against Team Blue. So on to the 67th minute. A wild 10-5 game. The White All-Stars came out, scored in the 5th minute on a Lucien Yu goal on his home field. Then the first of 2 goals by Jordan Hunt. Another goal off of a head ball delivered into the mixer to make it 3-0. And then Westwood's Nico Dole to make it 4-0, 18 minutes in. Now to the wide side, settling the ball, taking it wide, putting it away, Ryan Witt of Rutherford. 11-5. 68th minute goal. It was a year ago that Rutherford's Alejandro Miranda played very well in this game. And Ryan Witt representing Rutherford again this season. Nick Luddy's ball was broken up by Riza Radoncic of Elmwood Park. And the good connection for Team White. And Max Drishti of Dumont played it ahead. And that was nearly in stride for Adrian Cano of Pascack Valley. Here's Adrian Stancescu of Ramsey. Looks to deliver it ahead and to get Nick Luddy forward before the good touch by Eric Mazzini. Mazzini was third-team All-Bergen 2 years ago as a sophomore. Back into All-County honors this year as a senior, being second-team. As that chance taken by Adrian Stancescu. And a save made by Alkin. And we'll have a corner for Team Blue. Stancescu and the Ramsey players. There's 3 of them for Team Blue under coach Cesar Blasido. This year, and they lost to that West Milford team in the North 1 Group 2 final. As a ball delivered to the front, Ponce Montes was in position for a tap-in for White. And Jacob Grinberg. Grinberg of Glenrock certainly has a great frame for a wide player and will be a fascinating prospect for collegiate coaches. At 9-6 this year for Glenrock, but watching his strides and foot skills, and he could be a really quality pickup for someone at the next level as we get the offside flag up again. So as McConville drives it, Luddy. Backside run, Jack Meserole. And has to be touched away by Lucien Yu defending for Team White. Drew Carlin took a step through. And the White All-Stars have been able to consistently spread the field very well tonight. Here's another switch. It'll find Ryan Witt. Witt then takes the chance, and this one has to be banged off of McConville. And out for another Team White corner. And if my numbers are correct, it's also 9 different goal scorers tonight for the White All-Stars. That's Grinberg defensively, and a volley taken that's blocked, and then a second chance by Ponce Montes right into McConville. Up ahead, Adrian Stancescu tries to lead in Luddy, Alkin, and Alkin right at the edge of the 18 is able to recover and steer it out of traffic. On Thanksgiving Eve, thanks so much for being here tonight. The Bergen County Senior All-Star Game 2025. Ralph Bednarchik on hand, and special thanks to all the people that helped make this be possible. Alkin makes the foot save on the shot taken from the outside the 18 by Nick Luddy of Ridgewood. White All-Stars again spread the field. Settle for Ethan Bresdan, and Bresdan of Waldwick was looking for support. As Witt looks to the backside as that skips through. For a goal kick, and we will hit the 74th minute. David Alexic of Leonia and delivers in. Played for head coach Luke Muller. This year, Leonia lost a tough battle. They were the 8th seed, lost on their home field to 9th seed in Mendham in their North 2 Group 2 first round game. But they had quite the Bergen County tournament, though. Leonia this year was a 24 seed, and they upset 8-seeded Glen Rock in penalties. And then ended up battling the top seed Bergen Catholic to a 1-0 game in the quarterfinal. And Leonia with great soccer history. They have an alum at the Division I ranks and Coach Josh Shapiro of the Harvard Crimson. Novak. Radoncic connected with his winger. This ball carries through Witt. Bresdan all the way across to the front. And there was a sitting ball there to be had. That was Adrian Cano who was looking to get rewarded. Cano had an earlier assist. Playing this year for a Pascack Valley team that finished a game under 500 at 11-12. And they were one of the many teams that saw their seasons end at the hands of West Milford. Transition for the Blue All-Stars. Settled outside for Chris Guerrero. Guerrero of Park Ridge gets one more to cap off his great career. Guerrero with a great strike, 29-9 this year. 3 straight years being Park Ridge's leading scorer, and he makes it 11-6. Just a very difficult ball for a high school goalie to make a save on. And that's what Chris Guerrero did in the entirety of his career. Second team All-Bergen this year. His first All-County honors. 3 straight years was first team All-Division in the NJIC. As Ryan Witt is able to carry. And Witt takes another chance, and Witt is among the leaders in shots attempted in this game with all the room that he has had in this final 20-minute period. Another corner for the White All-Stars. And perhaps the highest scoring game in Bergen County All-Star history. Again, last year just a 3-2 game. Plenty of chances. But once this one opened up, it kind of turned into what you might call feeling like an NBA All-Star game. Here's Lucien Yu ahead, and Yu will steer it away from the on-rushing player from the Blue All-Stars in Drew Carlin. Nicavella trying to set up his right foot. Novak to the wide side for Nico Dole. Bresdan, and Bresdan will catch football goalposts. Grinberg off the goal kick. And into the 79th minute. Again, these players chosen by virtue of being named a either first, second, or third team Bergen County All-Star. So not every single player was able to commit to making the game. They're invited to, as there is another chance for Angel Ponce Montes and a head ball over the bar. Not every player that was honored with an all-county distinction was able to come and play in this game, but the vast majority were, and some playing the final high school soccer match or soccer match of their careers, while many others will go on and turn their attention to the winter club season, spring club season. Many others will go into different sports, into the winter basketball season and the spring season, and to try to figure out what their next moves are, but certainly enjoying their time with reacquainting with many rivals that they had played, especially if you're in the same division as players. So it's possible that there are players that have faced one another 8 times in their careers that ended up on the same teams tonight, as well as players that were club teammates, either on different teams or got to know one another. Here's a chance. Nick Luddy is able to take it and put it away. A nice kind of side volley taken by Nick Luddy will provide us the final score of 11-7. Luddy all night tonight just kind of looked like he was due for a goal. It comes in the 80th minute to wrap this one up in an explosion. 11-7, the White All-Stars defeat the Blue All-Stars tonight at the Dr. Allen W. Sugarman Athletic Complex at Fort Lee Middle School. congratulations to all the All-Stars here, and congratulations to all the people that helped make this broadcast possible, including Fort Lee head coach and All-Star chairman Demba Mene, and all of the coaches, including Evan Baumgarten of Ramapo, who donated the jerseys that were worn, that these players will have a chance to keep for a lifetime to show their representation as 2025 Bergen County Senior All-Stars. That'll do it for all of us here. Multi-goal games scored by Ori Olsner of the Blue All-Stars and Jordan Hunt of Ramapo for the White All-Stars, and an 11-7 scoring extravaganza. The White All-Stars prevailing tonight. Thank you so much for watching all of our coverage of the 2025 Bergen County Boys Soccer Senior All-Star Game. My name is Ralph Bnorchik, saying so long and good night on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel.